Welcome to the Trill MBA Show. I'm your host, Felicia and Rose Anuha, aka the Trillest MBA you will ever know. And I'm here to help you survive and thrive in corporate America by giving you the truth and being as real as only I can be. Welcome back, guys. Happy Sunday. Listen, I'm not going to take up too much of y'all time today. I have been extremely busy because I am in the process of building out a studio, like a real studio, you guys. Well, not a real studio because it's in a living room of a house, but we got cameras, we got lights, we got set, like furniture and like a whole situation. Like, it's really coming together. And one of my goals is to start recording the video and audio for the show so we can start posting video content as well as the audio that you get on anywhere you listen to this podcast. We just want the show to be a little bit more dynamic. We're trying to evolve the show. So when I first started, shout out to Chris. I didn't have Chris when I first started. I didn't sound design the episodes, or at least I tried, but it wasn't giving. But now when you hear the show, there's a dynamic, a beat, a feel, like, you know, the emphasis on certain things that I say. And it's just really makes this show great as far as production quality, and it makes it more engaging for you, the audience, so that when you get these nuggets, you feel it in your chest, right? And so because I've been doing that, I haven't really had time to sit down and produce the show topics that we had planned for all of May. But we've had some great interviews this month. Thank you to Delilah and to Natalie, and thank you to Ronnie Dickerson Stewart. Like, if you haven't heard those recent episodes, please go back and take a listen. They were great conversations. They dropped great nuggets. And we'll have some advertising on social at some point about that, which leads me to the other thing that I've been doing. I'm actually hiring an assistant to help with social media and some production. One thing I learned, so here's a nugget. Hiring people is hard, and finding the right people that you need and understanding what you need, oh my God. Like, here's another thing I've learned, because it's all hard, but it goes back to this. You have to drive for clarity. One thing I'm learning in this process is that I need to get very clear on what I need everybody to be doing, including myself. And I was talking to my chief of staff last night, and she was like, I'm glad that you're becoming self-aware that you always have a new idea every week. I literally, guys, have new ideas every week, and I am such an ideas person. But what that does is that distracts me from what I need to be focusing on. And part of that is probably due to my ADHD. So if you have a different way of viewing the world, or your brain may work a little different than how the current systems are set up to work, you really have to fight to find the systems and teams that really work for you. No matter if you're working in a big company, a nonprofit, no matter your workplace, if you're an entrepreneur, like, you really have to work to stay focused, to get things done and see things through to completion before you start doing other shit. Unless you have the teams to support multiple projects at once, you are only one person. And that's a hard pill for me to swallow. I'm highly ambitious, and I really want to do all these things and bring them all to the world. But right now, I don't have the team or resources to do that. So I had to get real with myself. I had to get honest with myself, and I had to take a step back. I had to slow down to speed up. And so that's basically what's happened in the past couple of weeks, is I've had to slow down to speed up. And giving myself grace through all of this has been so difficult, guys. so difficult. But also, the other takeaway I want you to take away from this is to give yourself grace in your career journey, because there's always going to be ups and downs. And it is hard to focus, especially then on top of you got to be an adult. Like, I have to feed myself and I have to like bathe myself and I have to take care of myself. And for some reason, I sometimes find that very difficult. Now, don't get me wrong. I bathe every day. Okay, hold on. I'm from the South. It'd be hot sometimes 2 times a day, right? 3 times a day, according on when you went to the gym. So like I bathe. I want that to be the takeaway. This is fresh and clean over here. But then that means that time that I'm taking bath or 2 baths, like I now have used that time to do something that I wanted something else to do. And it's like, what do I do? Do I bathe? Yes, nigga, go take a bath. That shit can wait. So you do have to pick bathing and feeding yourself first. Like, that's important, guys. But I do, like, sometimes I'll be like, well, maybe I can wait. No. So I just really want y'all to know that I'm excited, though, about what's coming. And after this quick break I'm going to take, I want y'all to hear about the vision I have and what I'm trying to accomplish, like, because that's what's driving me. And it's a big, hairy ass goal I got, but I'm going to share it with y'all after the break. Hey there, travel enthusiasts. Are you tired of struggling to find hair and skincare products that cater to your unique needs while on the go? Look no further than blacktravelbox.com. Black Travel Box is your one-stop shop for travel-sized natural hair and skincare products, specifically curated for Black travelers. No more settling for generic products that don't work for your hair type or skin tone. Whether you're jet setting to a tropical island or embarking on a cross-country road trip, Black Travel Box has you covered with their convenient and TSA-approved travel kits. Plus, by supporting Black Travel Box, you're not just getting high-quality products, but you're also supporting a Black-owned business that is dedicated to promoting inclusivity in the travel industry. So, travel in confidence, style, and grace with Black Travel Box. Visit blacktravelbox.com now and get ready to slay your next trip. Don't let your beauty routine suffer while you explore the world. And hey guys, let me tell you, Black Travel Box products are amazing, especially that body butter. Listen, I got a promo code for you. Use the code JETSET. That's JETSET, all caps, JETSET. And you can get a discount from Black Travel Box because of who? The Trill MBA. Happy travels, beautiful people. Now, let's get back to the show. All right, we are back. Listen, as I use my Black Travel Box moisturizer over here. Listen, so I have this big, hairy goal, guys. I realized as I've been working on my business plan and getting things clear and tight, that my 2 big, hairy goals. The first one is I want to produce stories of the global majority. That means all the melanated peoples of the world, the deeply melanated peoples of the world. I want to create a breadth of stories because this will drive humanity. So my goal is that you start going into your workplace, and because we have this breadth of stories, that when you go into your workplace, all your coworkers see you as just the human that you are, not the boxes that we've all been forced into or forced to check. Or even though if we opt in and want to check, I'm like, I like being Black. I love Blackness, right? But in this country, it's detrimental sometimes to be Black. Not to any fault of any person who's richly melanated in that way. But this country got some issues. And then there's countries around the world that have these same issues. Colorism is a problem because of the boxes that we have opted into and decided to check. But my goal is as a marketer, I want to use my powers for good. I want to tell stories that influence people to see each other as humans first. And so when I see mediocre Mike,
Hey there, Felicia.
I'd be like, you know what? I have been insecure and acted out. I see you, Mike.
It's crazy.
Because Mike is a human first and foremost, even if he get on your goddamn nerves.
Hey.
And so my goal with my company that I'm building is to go all around the world and find other creators and other people's stories to tell, and people who want to tell the stories of humanity for the global majority. And I want to have a platform that puts these stories out there in a way that does touch the heart and minds of people, just like commercials do. Just like commercials get you excited to go buy a car or buy that new gadget or product or try out that new hard seltzer. There's 50 million hard seltzers, but that commercial got you, right? Stories are powerful. And so I want to use storytelling to be the catalyst to start to eliminate racism. Not saying we gonna eliminate racism. I just want to be the catalyst. I want to start, and I want to start with storytelling. So that's the big, hairy goal number one. Hairy goal number two is near and dear to my heart and something I have been wanting to do since I was in my 20s, before I went to business school. I want to create a company that's so big, huge, in the Fortune 500, hiring tens of thousands of people and treating them with humanity and dignity, creating psychological safety as a cultural element, the place you want to come work because you know you'll be loved on as a human being. That's the big company that I want to create because I want to prove a point. The point I want to prove is when you treat your employees really, really well, you financially will do better than any other company out there. You will make the most money. I look at Amazon and I think, oh, wow, Amazon could make probably 10x what they make now if they actually treated people well. But they don't. They don't treat people well. And that's been documented. I'm not really trying to talk bad about Amazon. That's not my goal. I'm just using them as an example of a behemoth of a company that grew from an idea to where it is today. And in there somewhere, the values got contorted and people are treated really bad. They're anti-union. Why would you be anti-union? That's anti-human in a lot of ways. Why? Because you think that'll save your bottom line? When in actuality, when you treat people well, you make more money. And that's been proven out. Just like it's been proven out, if you have more diversity in your company, you make more money. But for some reason, there are certain ways and things that humans operate that we've been telling ourselves these stories that corporate isn't human. It's not about your feelings. Fuck your feelings. I'm like, this is my paycheck. Like, this is how I eat. This is how I take care of my family. This is how I survive. And I'm not supposed to feel a way about it? When you lay me off? Oh, but then on the flip side, you want to say, oh, we're one big family here. Fuck you mean? We not family? You about to lay me off? You think my mom would lay me off? You think my auntie would lay me off and put me in dire straits? No, we can't be family. And I'm not trying to build a company that's family per se, but I'm trying to build a company of colleagues that can grow together. I also want to build a company that's a training ground. Like, the name of my company is FARE World. I want people to be like, man, I used to work at FARE World. Oh, they look at somebody's resume and be like, she work at FARE World. Oh, okay, we got to poach her. Like, I want people poaching my talent. I want people to know that if you are hiring for anyone that works in media, you need to get them from FARE World. Like, that to me is the dream and the goal. I want to leave this world better than what I found it. I want people to feel seen and heard and loved. I started this show out of a desperation to be in my authentic voice, be myself, be free in a lot of ways. But I also started this show to show that you're not alone. We're all struggling in this construct of the workplace. It's a shithole. Talking about shithole countries. No, have you seen these workplaces? Have you seen how they treat some of us at some of these places? Like, I've never understood how you can be a human being. Like, you ever have a bitch ass boss? Like, you ever have a boss that's a bitch? Like, bitch. But that bitch is married. And you're like, why did that man marry you? You are trash. But then having the realization that that person goes home and they don't act a fool like they act a fool at work. What? Everybody's playing a part, I guess. But why? Why are we doing that? And does that really make the company money? Is that really what drives the needle? Like, what are we doing? These are the things that keep me up at night, guys. And these are things that I want you to think through. Like, how do I intentionally make the space and the people and the things around me better? What can I do differently? How do I show up better for people? If you're a people manager, you really need to do this, because you can have the best of intentions, and for whatever reason, you're still making the people that work for you, their lives miserable. And I know you may think, but I'm a good person and I love and da-da-da. I'm telling you, you can think the best of yourself and still have a direct report that is miserable working for you. And we got to think through what the solve is, because nobody should be miserable working for you. And hell, I'm still working through that one, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. Again, you can have the best of intentions, but your impact could be greatly disconnected. And you, as a leader, you have to figure out how to make your impact and your intention connect. That is great communication. And it's a learning process. And sometimes it's painful. Mm-hmm. Ooh, like real painful, y'all. I can't speak on it right now, but someday I'm going to come on this show and I'm going to be super Trill and like tell y'all everything because I think there's a learning in it, because I've definitely learned a lot from some of my experiences and even some of the things I'm experiencing now. And I can't wait to be in a position to where I can freely share everything, because I want to be honest. I want to tell the whole truth from my perspective and give people things to think through and think about as they're going through their work and trying to make the world a better place. So that's where I'm at, guys. That's what's going on with me. Would love to hear from you. Hit me up at ask@trillmba.com if you have any questions or concerns. If you need coaching, I have a couple of slots open for one-on-one coaching sessions that are one-offs. If you want to talk to me, ask me some questions, get a plan of action together, we can do that in 45 minutes. So if you go to trillmba.com/coaching, reach out to me there, sign up for a session. Calendar's open. Couple housekeeping things I want to talk through before I get out of here. So we are still doing the Patreon. It's just been, again, we're trying to get all this stuff built out. We're going to start doing video content. I'm going to be creating, so you know what I'm doing. Instead of me saying, we got things coming. Yes. Let me tell you what's coming for the Patreon. Some of the tips, tricks, and tactics. I'm going to be creating some short videos exclusively for Patreon members to drive that value there. And thank you for supporting the show. So as we get the studio built out, I'll be able to create those video contents and get them edited and put them up on Patreon. They'll be exclusively for Patreon members. And then also working to figure out what the schedule is to have those Zoom calls and have you guys come together and creating that space where we can create community. So I really want to do that with Patreon, and that's what we're working on. So if you've ever rocked with the Patreon and you were like, bitch, you ain't doing shit over here, come back. I appreciate you. Come back. You'll get early previews to some fun stuff coming up and all those things. So we're going to dive into that in the last half of the year. Once we've got the studio built out here, which was, 2 more weeks, we'll be up and running. And the first interview is going to be amazing. I'm not going to tell you who the guest is just yet, but just know it's going to be exciting. And we're going to release that on YouTube. We're also getting our YouTube up and running. So I'm excited about that. We have a lot of things coming, guys. Keep rocking with us. We want to hear from you, though. So please hit me up. ask@trilmba.com if you have any topics you want me to talk about, anything you're going through. Send in those listener letters. If you send in a listener letter and I read it on the show, you get a free coaching call. So if you've been like, I can't afford this, but I need some help, that's a little secret there. There's always a way, guys. So with all that said, I love y'all. Thank you for rocking with us. The team is growing. I'm growing this thing. Slow and steady wins the race. Don't give up, even when it gets hard. And this is the hard part right here, guys. This is hard. It's hard. But I'm counting it all joy. And, life be life, but keep it pushing. And I want to encourage you to do the same. But if you do need help, ask for help. And if you know you need to pause and slow down. Pause, sit down, take a break. Make sure you're taking care of yourself and your health first. And sometimes that can feel like a slowdown, but it will help you speed up. Trust me, I'm in this season of working to take care of my health first. And so sometimes I have to slow down. So that's why you got a FARE Update episode this week. Next week, we should be back in the full swing of things with another great episode talking about a topic that will help you further your career and help you be confident and help you get intentional about what you want in your career, per our usual. But I don't know what that show is yet. We're working on everything for June. So love you guys. Hit me up. And until next week, keep it trill. The Trill MBA Show is a FARE World Corp LLC production. Executive produced by Felicia and Rose Enuha. Sound design and editing by Chris Mann with Podshaper. Theme music is Kick Push by Ryan Little. Keep it trill every day, y'all.